Yes, it is a very even betting race. We'll keep our eye on Addington there on the left-hand side of the screen at the moment. In this race, so we've got the late scratching earlier of Danny leaves a field of 7. I thought that probably played into the paws of Advanska off box number 7, having no Greyhound on the outside. She is the only female in the field. She's only been beaten once in 6 starts here on the track, and she has posted some very fast times, including 30 seconds flat. So although she's fairly new to this level, it's an opportunity for her to do the job here. And the dogs in 6 and 5, Lonesome Nitro, Corborn Brick, they certainly won't come out on her. There's nothing here really that should cause her any problems, and she can just use her natural speed around the outside here. Advanska went 7, 1, 2 and 5 in an open affair, leaving out Lonesome Nitro, who was a Group 1 winner here not so long ago. The Wanganui Cup is yet to win a race since. Now I understand we're going first here, and Addington will be after us, so we're officially in 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes, 2.5, and we're on the track, and we will race to time and then back to Addington, who will start off the other side. So through the others, Boston Heart off the inside on the red rug is a dog who's been plagued by wide draws. He's been doing okay from them, but his last 11 starts he's had 6 box 8s, 3 box 7s. Last time he had box 1 was in a class 4 race in late May, and he did deliver. He's a good strong dog. He's down 1.3 kilos in body weight, and he weighs in tonight at 30.6. He has won around that weight in Tasmania when he raced over there. He won a few races around that weight. His most recent weight here, winning weight, was 31.9, but I think he'll be okay. It is 30.6 tonight. Boston Heart off the inside. Jojo off box number 2 for James Black, Alicia Steele. They haven't had a lot of luck tonight with their team. This is a pretty smart animal. He lined up over 603 metres last time out at Manukau. He got run down by a strong dog and Method Man. This dog came down for the Wanganui Cup. His lead-up run was good because he was very unlucky. He was checked badly and he recovered for a placing, and he did the same in his heat of the Cup, and then he had no luck in the Wanganui Cup at all, Jojo. But off box number 2 today, he might be able to make his own luck here. 5 dog is Corborn Brick. Now he paid $30 on Monday. Such was the strength of the field with Kilchurn and Malaman. Neither of those dogs ran in the money, and Corborn Brick won. Was a winner here not so long ago, 2 5 starts back, and beat Lonesome Nitro on that occasion. He does angle for the rail, Corborn Brick. He can make it 2 in the week. And he could open things up for Lonesome Nitro. Went close to winning here last week behind Fabio, who is a race rival tonight. Didn't show up at Manawatu. He doesn't seem to cop Manawatu very well at all, Lonesome Nitro, so he's better off here. And what about Fabio? Well, he did win last week after all. And he can again. He got home in a 30.28 last week. He led, and Lonesome Nitro couldn't pick him up. He lasted by a length and a half, Fabio, and looks a good chance to lead again. He'll have some strong dogs on his tail, but he held them out last week. And Greater Jack off box number 4. Well, look, he had box 1 last week, and although he's run a fair 4th, he had every chance. So we're about to go here as we tick down towards start time, and Addington will be off the back of us here. So field of 7, but still 3 place dividends to be paid out here, with the late scratching of Denny at the kennels a little earlier on. Tidy field here for our class 5 race tonight. The first security. It is the first leg of the final treble here. Good crowd down in front of us too have come out. Pretty pleasant night, and it's cooling down obviously now, but it's fairly still, and there's certainly plenty booked in tonight for meals, and they're heading out for a look at the most tightly assessed greyhounds of the night. Now we're going to the traps here on start time for race 10. Addington's been delayed. We'll race on the other side of us. This is the 10th, the first security class 5. Boston Heart off the inside. Fabio in 3. Corborn Brick in 5. Box 7 Advanska. Second line, Jojo. Followed up by Greater Jack. Lonesome Nitro. Box 8's vacant. Advanska, $3.80 favourite. Lined and ready, the class 5s at the 520 metre points. Green light is on. And we're about set for the 10th of the night. Nearly there. racing. Radvanska, the outside's made a good beginning. Also Fabio into its work early. They match up the motors to the first bend. Greater Jack just through on the inside of them. Wanders off a stride or two though, and Jojo gets past it. So does Boston Hart. Greater Jack slips back behind them with Lonesome Nitro and Corborn Brick. Down the back they go. Fabio in front from Jojo. Radvanska the outside. Boston Hart the inside, followed around by Lonesome Nitro, getting close enough. Further back then Greater Jack and Corborn Brick on the corner. Fabio still in front. Charging the inside is Jojo at them like Boston Hart. Jojo in from Boston Hart. Fabio third to go by. Lonesome Nitro fourth. Radvanska appeared to have a chance fifth. Then we had Greater Jack and Corborn Brick, but there wasn't much top to bottom. Jojo, dog number 2.
2 beats 1 at Wanganui. Apologies, we have to leave hard on the back of that race, but of course we have a lot of mucking around at Addington. Grego, let's go through it. First of all, Southern GMP is out, which means I would suggest about a 14% reduction in fixed odds bet. Little Rascal's gone to the unruly, and a lot better for a little while went nuts.
Yeah, thanks for that, Michael. Chapter of incidents there. Northview Gambler, the horse that tried to jump in Maverick's cart, is undergoing a vet check too with Corin Murfitt. So, and I can tell you a lot better. Isn't a whole lot happy around at the start there, so his chances of stepping away, well, it was 50-50 going into the race. You would think the percentages would be stacked against him. He's pretty fired up for this. So Southern GMP, the 14 does come out. Late scratching there. Michael's already mentioned the deduction. And Maverick, well, he appears to have come through his part of the incident unscathed. So we're pretty late for our sixth course. The next is the feature, the Christian Cullen Canterbury Classic, and Michael Guerin and I will go through that at length. Dexter Dunn, just with the 1 point out to $5 in the Drivers' Challenge, and Ricky May with the 4 in the bank at $1.90. Still has some good drives to come. Of course, he drives Mossdale Connor. A race, the Canterbury Classic, he has won on no less than 5 occasions. So they're about to be called forward. Hearing through from the bookmakers, no change to Master Lavros's price for the Hellers Dominion. He remains at $3.60. Whistle has blown for race number 6, about to get underway here. Favourite Pepe Bromack, the Mark III 5-year-old with Nigel McGrath. Little Rascal, well, he's currently the second favourite with the book, but he now is on the unruly. And, of course, he has the sliding blinds off tonight. Webb Ellis is a smart beginner. Won't worry him this hold-up here. He's at $15. He's the best blowout chance in what is a very even field. Here's Mark McNamara, take 2, race 6 here at Addington tonight.
Thanks, Greg. Pretty close, and the runners called up to their respective tapes. Stun and Do turns in a lot better.
Come on, Johnny, up you come.
Led forward, but he stirred up a lot better. He was the first time around too. He stepped all right. Now Webb Ellis has a rare. A lot better backs away. And Johnny Eyre. Stun and Dude can hardly love her. Northview Gambler. So the problem ones are Webb Ellis, Little Rascal, and a lot better. So they try again, and the 10-metre tapes just come off.
Don't use one.
So the track cleared. The Royal Gardens now wander to the infield. It might be getting a bit closer now. Now Little Rascals half on the tape.
Out, walk round again.
So they're going to go round again and come forward again.
Yeah, good as gold. We're not going to use a 10-metre tape.
So no 10-metre tape in use. And the unruly's giving a bit of an issue. A lot better Webb Ellis. And Little Rascal added to that.
Don't go away, just form your circle.
Johnny Eyre can hardly love her. Pepe Bromack remains the favourite. He's been pretty settled through this, Pepe Bromack. Option price of $3.50. Tote price of $3.30. Maverick continues to be the second pick, and Stun and Dude pretty firm on the tote at $6.50 and $6.75 the book. So for the third time we'll try.
Rightio, 10 metres.
The Royal Garden, Little Rascal will sneak back in off the grass.
Not too soon, Dennis, because that's the time you run.
So the 10-metre barrier not being used, that's just to give the unruly ones some room so they don't back into it. A 9% deduction with the late scratching of Southern GNP as the news through. We'll try again. A Lot Better has a rare. Let up again. Mr. Metal, Webb Ellis backs into the outside fence. A Lot Better's up in the air again, Little Rascal.
Don't you push up.
And again, A Little Better has a rare.
CJ.
Now, Canardy Lover's getting a little close. A Lot Better. He's getting fired right up. Racing now. Little Rascal galloped away. A Lot Better galloped away. Galloping to Peppy, Bromack and Stunnin' Dude. Webb Ellis has gone straight to the lead and is going to cross down over Ideal Arden and Royal Council. 3 lengths away next is the Royal Garden from Maverick, getting up underneath Canardly Lover. 2 lengths to Mr. Metal from Stunnin' Dude, Johnny Eyre. Only 2 or 3 lengths to A Lot Better. Peppy, Bromack's out of play. Galloping Northview Gambler down the lane the first time. And Little Rascal is also tailed out of it. The leader is Webb Ellis and the margin's 2 lengths. Running second is Ideal Arden and Royal Council, a length and a half away third, and that trio have 6 lengths to spare. On the Royal Garden, who's running fourth, and Maverick fifth. 2 lengths away, Canardly Lover from Johnny Eyre inside of Mr. Metal. Then Stunnin' Dude and A Lot Better. And long gaps off to Peppy, Bromack, Northview Gambler and Little Rascal. They're spread out over the best part of 200 metres here as Webb Ellis and Tim Williams. As he did a couple of starts ago, Webb Ellis, he just ran them along and was too good for them. He leads here by a length and a half. Ideal Arden second, Royal Council third. That's part 1 of race 6. They're now 7 lengths in front of the Royal Garden, fourth, Maverick fifth. Next, Canardly Lover. The next one on the outside is Mr. Metal from Johnny Eyre, Stunnin' Dude. And then came A Lot Better and tailed off all Peppy, Bromack, Northview Gambler and Little Rascal. Some huge gaps in the field here. The lead time 1:15.2. And it's Webb Ellis leading. A length and a half, Ideal Arden and third, Royal Council. 4 lengths to Maverick, getting to fourth and closing the gap quickly in front of the Royal Garden. 2 lengths, Canardly Lover. Johnny Eyre's over on the inside and parked up Mr. Metal from Stunnin' Dude and A Lot Better last of the chances. And gaps off to Peppy, Bromack, Northview Gambler, Little Rascal. Less than a round to go. And it's still Webb Ellis leading the way as he has done from the start. The opening quarter, 31.5. Second on the leader's back is Ideal Arden, and without cover now, Maverick went to third. The Royal Garden followed him off the pegs. Royal Council looking to get away from the inside in front of Mr. Metal, and she did so. Canardly Lover's next underneath of Mr. Metal as the speed's right on. Next, Johnny Eyre from Stunnin' Dude and A Lot Better. 800 metres to go, and Webb Ellis leads the way. Maverick's a length away second, breezing, and Ideal Arden's had a super run in the trail. Royal Council works into fourth at the expense of the Royal Garden, who's giving ground. Then came Canardly Lover. Next, Johnny Eyre, Mr. Metal. A Lot Better wide out on the track from Stunnin' Dude. The second quarter, 29.9. 61.4 for the half, and it's still Webb Ellis. A length over Maverick. Ideal Arden waits for the Terror to Love at Pineley Farm passing lane. Then came Royal Council. A Lot Better went to fifth, making ground from Canardly Lover. And then came Johnny Eyre. The leader is Webb Ellis. Loose rein, so too Maverick. Ideal Arden pushing out from Royal Council. Canardly Lover getting back behind them from A Lot Better. The third quarter, 29.6. Maverick leads. Ideal Arden's out for a look and he hit the lead, the old boy. Royal Council's gone to second. Then came Canardly Lover. It's Ideal Arden though. 75 to go. On the outside, Royal Council's a length away. Still Ideal Arden from Royal Council. Johnny Eyre flying home, but it's 3 for Gavin Smith. And Ideal Arden won it, beat Royal Council and Johnny Eyre. Then came Maverick and Canardly Lover. Next in A Lot Better, Stunnin' Dude, Webb Ellis. Mr. Metal, the Royal Garden. Peppy Bromack will finish in a moment. So too Northview Gambler, and Little Rascal was pulled up in the last lap. 5 Ideal Arden, Gavin Smith, what a night for him. 18.80 and 4.40. 3 Royal Council, 2.60. And 13 Johnny Eyre at $12.80. A race that had a little bit of everything, including a rough result. What's that for Ideal Arden? 85 starts, 9 wins, home in 30.9. 2:1.9 for the last mile, and Michael, that's his go, trailing on the back of a good speed. No horse in the race would have loved it more than Ideal Arden, who was following the pace through that middle half of the last mile. Gavin Smith's having a great night, 3 at the trot, beats Royal Council, the fast finishing Johnny Eyre, and Maverick should last for 4th. An exciting race, not for everybody, race 6, but those that found the winner, it certainly was.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. And Gavin Smith, the driving in career best form. Let's be honest, that aside, let's try and forget that whole race even happened. Let's take the last 20 minutes of the harness racing world and, in the words of the great Shag Hansen, flush it down the dunny. That was ridiculous. OK, heading back to the Whale for the next on the card, Craig Besotted into 240. He's clearly the best horse here, a Taylor Mile winner. The one thing that did surprise me, Craig, or still does surprise me, $15 on the win tote for Delight Brigade. I thought that was overs.
Absolutely, Michael. He's my second pick in the race. He was downgraded after that Spring Cup, and his sectionals weren't much different than Besotted. In saying that, he was probably a length and a half, maybe 2 lengths behind him at the line, but he did run him in 55.5. That's as good as Delight Brigade could go. What he's got is very good standing start manners. He's very quick away from a stand. End up up 3 back on the fence in the Spring Cup. So I agree with you. Great place bet at $4.40, Delight Brigade. Besotted, they've come from Michael. He's $2.40 at the moment. Looks like he's been backed in with a $3,000 bet at $2.80. Has brought his quote into $2.40. So first leg of the quaddie. Let's have a look at a suggested quaddie. We've anchored Besotted in the first leg. Second leg of the quaddie, 4, 6, 8 and 10 in the trot, and that's a really good trot field. Regal Petite at value. Whitney will catch up with driver Jack McKinnon prior to race number 6. Al Bundy and Reel Me In from the back mark. 4, 6, 8, 10. Race number 7 tonight, our feature. The Faithful with gate speed will lead, I'm pretty sure. Bodine Bowfighter was outstanding, winning on debut, and Walkinshaw heading towards a Sire Stakes heat next week. In the last, quite happy with Down Under Stride. If you want a bit of cover, Jet Black Shadow. $24, give you a full unit. Tonight's quaddie, first league anchor, runner number 10, Besotted. Who do we like behind him? Delight Brigade, yes. Unforgiving, yes. Concern I have about her, first standing start tonight. We saw Stars and Sound do it 100% right last night, first up from a stand. This mare, you'd think she's quite a sensible type. By Art Major, 1 off the 10 metres with only 2 horses will give her a bit of space, and she's got to be a very good chance. So runner number 4 goes in the mix. We get the result from Addington. Ideal Arden, 18.80, 4.40. Royal Council, 2.60. Johnny Eyre, $12.80. Quinella, 87.70. Trifecta, 9,541.20. And a good carry forward into race number 7. Our feature tonight at Addington, $11,000 carried forward, so get involved in that into Chris and me's race number 7. The triples paid $1,939.80, the double $32.60, the concession $6.70. Quick summary of Addington race number 6 with a 20-minute delay there has pushed our race back to 8:32. Aaron White, one of our features tonight. Race number 5, the Cullen Breeding Handicap Pace. Just noting that if you're backing Charleston Bell in race number 5 tonight, it will race in Robert Dunn's colours. Runner number 2, Charleston Bell, not in James Stormont's colours, but in Robert Dunn.
Should be a good race too here, Craig. I've gone for the back marker, Besotted. He was good enough in the Spring Cup there in 3rd. I thought his resuming run was top-notch when runner-up and behind a Hoka punter. So he's the obvious, although he's got that 40-metre back mark to overcome. There are some speedy types up ahead, so he's going to have to be on his A-game, Besotted. Only his 3rd run back after a long spell. 2,700 metres, that's probably the only concern. So he's on top. The 10 over the 9 Beyond the Silence raced really well this time last year. I think he picked up the Holmes DG, the Spring Cup. I think he won the Tiamutu Cup as well. In fact, no, he was second in the Tiamutu Cup and behind Rock and Ruby. But I think he won 2, if not 3 of those lead-up type of races here at Alexandra Park last season, Beyond the Silence. And we'll put in the 5 River Polka. She races for the ultimate bonus. She's only 10 metres behind tonight. A 30-metre head start over the favourite. She's a definite chance here, Tony Hurley. And 4 Unforgiving racing well. Stephen Reid comes, of course, off the back of being third behind Ahoka Punter and Besotted 2 starts ago, then runner-up in behind God Forbid last time. 10, 9, 5 and 4 for me.
Just a quick question, Aaron. What can you tell me about Robbie Williams? I'm not talking about the singer, but Robbie Williams, a driver that drives number 1 McRoyal.
Yeah, not much I can tell you about him, Craig. I only just saw him in the drivers list when I was going through them tonight. Not too sure which state from Australia he is from, but he's won a few races across the Tasman. He may well be from New South Wales, but he's across here and taking in some of the Kiwi scenery and landscape.
Thanks, Aaron. We're just on start time for race number 5. The red light's on. It is the Cullen Breeding Handicap Pace. Over the 2,700 metres. Favourites now into 230, 220 on the tote.
20 beyond the silence, Besotted back of 40. Thank you, Craig. Our feature pace. The runners come up to their respective barrier strands. We'll watch Besotted off the 40-metre back tape. The barrier strands release. It was a wee bit tardy, Besotted. Now, God Forbid wasn't the best away. Neither was Voluntad, and also off stride River Polka in the early stages. First one to get into stride is the tracker. From and second, Charleston Bell, and then McRoyal. They're followed by Beyond the Silence has made a cracking beginning. He's up in 4th early as they work on to the showgrounds turn. A good 6 lengths away, Voluntad. She fills the hopples better now. Then Delight Brigade, Unforgiving, River Polka, God Forbid, Besotted. And that's the field as they come into the lane with 2,200 metres left to go. And our leader is Charleston Bell. Has whipped around to take up the running here for Jimmy Stormont over the tracker. And then came McRoyal for visiting driver Robbie Williams in 3rd. Sitting out parked is Beyond the Silence. Then Voluntad. Delight Brigade will take 1-1 cover on the back of it. Stablemate 2 circuits left to make. River Polka tucked away on the marker line on the inside of Unforgiving. God Forbid back second last, and the race favourite Besotted. And David Butcher, they're the last combination as they pace out to the 1,800 metres as they put the stables behind them their first occasion. Charleston Bell over the tracker. McRoyal Beyond the Silence still doing it tough out, parked 4th. Back on the inside Voluntad, and then came Delight Brigade 1-1. There's the Reed man bringing Unforgiving forward out 3. God Forbid gets onto her back. River Polka's taken the opportunity to get away from the pegs, and Besotted 2 off last and 10 lengths off the lead. 1:27 and 2 the lead time. Charleston Bell into the back straight, leads the tracker. Unforgiving progresses up on the outside now to get parked. That'll give some much needed cover to Beyond the Silence as God Forbid now comes out 3. Then McRoyal tucked away 3 back on the pegs. To its outside Delight Brigade. River Polka the outside of Voluntad, and Besotted been patiently handled by DJB back last. 1,200 to go. The opening quarter, 29 and 4. Charleston Bell, the pressure's good. God Forbid the outside, and the tracker getting the lovely drag in the trail. 1-1 now to Unforgiving, Judge Bell, and 1 to go. McRoyal 3 back on the inside. Then came Beyond the Silence, Voluntad. She's 4 back on the pegs, being covered by Delight Brigade. The last pair, River Polka, and Besotted back last, and he's now 11 to 12 lengths off Charleston Bell as they pace out to the 800 metre mark. Second quarter, and they break 30 again, 29 and 7. Charleston Bell, a length God Forbid, the tracker Unforgiving 1-1. Then McRoyal, they're followed by Beyond the Silence, Voluntad. Delight Brigade's about to come forward, coming out in front of him Beyond the Silence, River Polka on the back of Delight Brigade, and that pumps out the favourite 4 wide. Besotted, 500 to go. Charleston Bell, God Forbid, Unforgiving's out of the 1-1. Beyond the Silence out 4 wide. The tracker with the leaders back. Then came McRoyal, back straight quarter, 28.8. Further back in the field there now is River Polka taking short routes for home. Delight Brigade, Besotted's going to be the widest homeward bound, and lining them up Charleston Bell, the tracker off her back 2 lengths. Unforgiving, here's Besotted charging home down the outside. Charleston Bell in front. Besotted really opening up powerfully. Here he comes. Besotted, he's going to get back into the winner's circle tonight. Besotted too good. Second over Delight Brigade. River Polka a touch unlucky 3rd. Then Charleston Bell, the tracker Unforgiving. They were followed by Beyond the Silence, Voluntad, and McRoyal, and pulled up with a tyre off the rim is God Forbid, 324.2. We'll trim it up with the hand handicap. Trim it up substantially too with the handicap because he's come from the 40. 29.8 the last quarter. 59.7 the half. They broke the 30 seconds for every quarter of the last mile and Besotted. 3 runs back from his long layoff. A nice cool David Butcher drive. DJB gets 2 on the program tonight. Delight Brigade, a gutsy run second. River Polka, she didn't get all favours across the top. She's finished the race off strongly. Charleston Bell will pick up the 4th position in the Cullen breeding handicap pace.
Official placings, race 5, the Cullen breeding handicap pace. 10, 6, 5, 2, 3, 4. 10, 6, 5, 2, 3, 4. Horse 10, Besotted, paced the 2,700 metres from a stand in a handicap and a net time, a good time of 321.2. Mile rate of 159.9. Last 857.7, the 428.9. Margins 1 length, 1 1/4 lengths, 2 3/4 lengths, 1 length, 1 1/4 lengths, 2 3/4 lengths. 10, 6, 5, 2, 3, 4. Race 5, Cullen breeding handicap pace.
Feature pace winner is Besotted. Great to have him back in the winner's circle too. The Taylor Mile winner of a couple of seasons ago. He's been put aside with an injury and he's had the 3 runs back and he was placed in the Spring Cup last time. This has been a great win from the 40-metre back mark. David Butcher picks up a winning double. Ray Green, a winning treble out of Pukekohe. Lincoln Farms also a winning treble in the ownership here too. American Ideal Brown 7-year-old gelding out of Saturation for Woodland Stud. New Zealand Limited, the breeders. Besotted picks up his 15th victory at start 53, and 13 of those victories have come here under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park. Lynn Dobson down there, part of the victory celebrations for Cullen breeding. Gordon Robertson, race night steward, also in attendance. 6 Delight Brigade, good run second. Better's Delight Smithy's Delight, 8-year-old brown gelding, raced by Miss S.A. Matthews, R. Faulkner and Mrs. C.A. Faulkner. Andrew and Lynn Neal trained at Cambridge. Peter Ferguson and 5 River Polka. American Ideal Bay 6-year-old mare out of Isle of Innisfree, raced by the Flemings, PBJN. PBNJ, TP and BJ. Tony Herlihy, the trainer-driver out of Papakura. 10 Besotted, $2.30 and $1.20. $2.30, $1.20. The 6 Delight Brigade, $2.60, $2.60. And 5 River Polka, $2.40, $2.40. Quinella returns $12.20, $12.20. Trifecta, $106.60, $106.60. And the first 4, $294.20, $294.20.
on them at the line. He's drawn a wee bit closer in here. Two doggers, Corborn Steve. He was a winner 4 starts back. I just thought his run on Monday was terrible. I had to look back at that, thought he must have had an excuse. I couldn't really find much of an excuse for him, Corborn Steve. He's a brother to an earlier winner tonight, Corborn Butsy. Homebush Zane, he's had a few chances lately and he hasn't been able to deliver, so as a Class 4 up against the Class 5s here, he could be in trouble. Vision and Powers only had 1 run back from a long break, and it was an okay resumption too. He certainly knows this track very well. He's these days with the Ron and Naomi Regan team. They haven't had a great deal of luck tonight. And Mega Jet, look, he's quite a nice dog. He has trouble from out wide. He tries to cut across the field, and at this level that's very hard for him unless he can get really clear. So we'll be quickly off the back of this race and down to Addington, and we'll get you to Greg O'Connor and Mark McNamara just as soon as we can off the back of this. Greyhounds to the traps, race 11A on CPF, Class 4s and 5s. One Broke Girl off the inside, Blue and Curly has box 3, Gold Rug Vision and Power, box 7 Fashion and Fame resuming tonight. Second line to come up, Corborn Steve. Forward goes Homebush Zane, Allegro Chaser and Mega Jet. One Broke Girl at 3:10. Has to step the inside. She can miss at times and she can fly. Let's see what she does tonight. Nearly set. Racing, One Broke Girl. She comes out okay here. Homebush Zane gets out quite nicely. Allegro Chaser 2, then Fashion and Fame. Mega Jet right around the outside. Running up between runners here. Blue and Curly starting to charge into it. Also trying to get a run through here. Would have been Corborn Steve. Up to the corner. Driving to the lead here. Homebush Zane from Allegro Chaser. And One Broke Girl. Homebush Zane upsets them. Allegro Chaser and One Broke Girl third. Followed across then by Corborn Steve. Mega Jet, Blue and Curly, and a couple got into big trouble. Vision and Power and Fashion and Fame a long last. Big upset here, Greg, in race number 11, back with the 12th at 9:13 as we head back to you for the feature of the night.
Yeah, thanks very much for that, Mark. 1971 first run, the Canterbury Classic. Was formerly the Miracle Mile, of course, but cup winners like Terra to Love, Monkey King, Master Mood, Bonnie's Chance, but to name a few. We're a couple of minutes away from a start. $1.75 is Chris and Me's, the reigning horse of the year. Tiger Tara, clear second pick at $4.60. Smolder, he's a $10 chance. Here's what Mark Purdon had to say about him, and on the back of that, we'll hear from Brilliant Strikes trainer Paul Court. Mark, terrific to have Smolder back in something like his best form last campaign. What sort of condition does he appear in tonight?
He seems pretty well, Greg. Seems pretty fit. It's not the norm sort of bringing them out fresh like this, but we're running out of time, and I think it'd probably benefit him to be here tonight.
What about at home? What sort of signs is he giving you, given you've got 4.5 weeks to the New Zealand Cup? Is he going in the right direction in your opinion?
He is, Greg. As I say, I think he's pretty fit. He'll benefit from the run, but I'd be rapt if he was in 4, but just the same, I wouldn't be surprised if he was there giving them a push.
We know him as such a great stayer. Does that mean that you'll be more or less, depending on the way the race pans out, driving him for one run at them tonight?
Yes, definitely, Greg. Just depends how it's run, but I want to look after him, but if he's in the right place at the right time, I hope he goes well.
Paul, a terrific win first up from this horse here a couple of weeks ago. How's he come through that?
He's come through really good, and like you say, it was a really good win and good time in that. And when you compare, with what they went that night in the open class ranks, I think he'll fit it with them, and just hope we get a bit of luck, really.
He deserves his chance, and given a top 3 spot here guarantees a spot in the big one on the second Tuesday in November, he'll get it tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. If we can run in the 3, it takes a bit of stress out of trying to get him there. And we're a wee bit down the rankings, but I think with racing against these good guys, we'll definitely put our hoof in the till.
Look, he showed against the top 3-year-olds last season that he was narrowly inferior to them. What needs to unfold tonight, race-wise, for him to get a top 3 spot?
I don't know, just as long as he begins well and sort of gets a nice trip and they go hard. He's a very good stayer, and the harder they go, the better it'll suit him.
All right, that is in our feature tonight. The other runner you have in, Explosive Art, goes round in race number 8. I thought he was better last time.
Yeah, he's just improving with each run. He had a big long layoff, and the first run at Methven was just okay, and then he improved a lot for last week, and I expect another bold run today.
All right, good luck with your pair for the remainder of the evening.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, that's Paul Court there talking us through his 2 chances, result of the previous on-screen, of course, for the Greyhounds. Takawa, he resumes. He's had 2 workouts. He's gone very well. Jim Curtin has driven 2 winners of this race, Terra to Love in 2011 and back in 92 with Millie's brother. I thought Tiger Tara will get his chance here to beat Chris and me. If he steps in front of him, gets across him, then that makes him the horse to beat. Several other chances, many of which need to jump up the rankings here, so a top 3 spot for them would be ideal. No Dr. Needed was great first up. He'll step, if he steps as well as he did last time, he'll be in the van throughout and press his claims as he heads towards the Cup 2. He is currently ranked in 25th position. Bit of a Legend was great last time, and Venus Serena, another one that missed away last time, and her standing start record not that great, and we know she races best when in on the markers, so from the unruly now, that's going to make it incredibly difficult for her, and depending on what happens in this race tonight, she may well be heading toward mobile races only. Gavin Smith's in the bike though. Mark McNamara, as we come up to you, and as part of the Stonewall Stud Drivers Challenge, he leads that as any other individual, and he's having an unreal 7 days.
Is he what? He's just loving life at the moment, Gav Smith, and she's at 52, Venus Serena. The best form would see that massive overs, but just such a quality field, and she's from that awkward draw. Now the first 4 is just short of $30,000, with that 11 grand coming forward from the previous. So it's growing nicely. Plenty of people keen to take that option here. And the Group 2 feature with an odds-on favourite, Chris and me, back into 170 the tote, 175 the book. Tiger Tara 420 and 460. You got Takawa back tonight. Delightful Dash for one of 3 latest additions to the Hall of Fame here at Addington. We'll mention them as the night continues, but Cullen de Philippi is one of those 3. 2 humans and 1 horse. Now Chris and me comes around. Tiger Tara, Choice Achiever, Ideal Success, Brilliant Strike. Takawa comes up, No Doctor Needed, Venus Serena. Mighty Flying Mac and Smolder. Just short of 33 now for the first 4. And we're getting close. He's been standing there a while, Chris and me, but he's standing well. Racing now, and he began better than Tiger Tara, Chris and me. Tiger Tara has galloped for a few strides off the 2, up in the air, Brilliant Strike for a bit, and Bit of a Legend's galloped itself out the back. Chris and me's going to scoot through and keep the lead here. Choice Achiever and Mostar O'Connor going up 3 wide, and Takawa galloped. After a safe beginning, Jimmy Curtin gets him back down now. He's in the centre of the track and will be in the back half of the field. Tiger Tara has been able to come back through and follow the leader. So back to Chris and me, who takes them to lap and 3/4 and out by a length and a half, Tiger Tara. Smolder tracks through to race 3 back the inside and 2 to Choice Achiever. Then Mostar O'Connor and 3 wide, No Doctor Needed. Next is Ideal Success, and Delightful Dash went to the markers, 3 wide, Takawa. Bit of a Legends on the inside from Venus Serena. And then came Mighty Flying Mac and Brilliant Strike moving 3 wide early in the race too. The leader is Chris and me with Dexter Dunn. A lap and a half to go, margins 2 lengths. Tiger Tara is running second and Smolder third. Takawa's about to arrive at the breeze, but there's cover coming because Venus Serena's 3 wide. No Doctor Needed's in the running line, and Brilliant Strike 3 wide and 1 back. Delightful Dash 4 back the markers. Ideal Success is on the move. Choice Achiever between horses, and Mighty Flying Mac goes around the field. Bit of a Legend second last, and Mostar O'Connor takes off aboard the 3 wide train, so it's had plenty of passengers as Chris and me is looked at by Venus Serena, and 3 wide Brilliant Strikes pouring it on too. Tiger Tara's in the trail from Takawa. Lead time was 1:18.2, but there's a line of 3 here, and Chris and me's getting plenty of curry. Takawa 5th. Next on the inside, Smolder. Ideal Success is 3 wide, and not quite on the back of Brilliant Strike, who's going on with it. Next, No Doctor Needed from Mighty Flying Mac, and then came Delightful Dash, Mostar O'Connor. Now, a lap ago, Choice Achiever was breezing, and Bit of a Legend is last. First quarter's 28.4, and Chris and me leads below the 1,000-metre mark. Margins a length on Venus Serena. Leaders back third, Tiger Tara. He'll be loving this show that's going on in front of him. Brilliant Strikes left 3 wide now. Takawa 5th, the middle, Ideal Success 3 wide and 1 back. Smolder 3 back on the pegs from No Doctor Needed. Then Mighty Flying Mac and Delightful Dash, Choice Achiever. Mostar O'Connor and Bit of a Legend. Crescent Me still does it well. Out near the 650 metre mark. He leads the neck on Venus Serena. 3 wide, Brilliant Strike. Tiger Tara held up. Next time came Takawa from Smolder. Ideal Success, No Doctor Needed. Then came Delightful Dash for the back in the race is Bit of a Legend. And on its outside, Mighty Flying Mac gets trucking from Mossdale Connor. Second quarter, 29.8. 58.2 for the half. Chris and Me leads. Venus Serena's under pressure. Tiger Tara's pushing out. Smolder takes an inside run from Takawa. And Mighty Flying Mac, 29 the third quarter. Chris and Me's been softened right up. Tiger Tara's out after him. Smolder to their inside. Tiger Tara went to the top. Smolder's on the terror to love lane. It's Tiger Tara and Smolder. Tiger Tara just in front. And Tiger Tara won the classic. Half a neck on Smolder. Chris and Me third. Mossdale Connor fourth. Then came Bit of a Legend, Delightful Dash. Mighty Flying Mac. Further back, No Doctor Needed, Takawa. Next to go by, Choice Achiever from Venus Serena. Ideal Success. And last in is Brilliant Strike. Number 2, Tiger Tara. Jared O'Reilly, 440 and 140. 12 Smolder, 250. And 1 Chris and Me, $1.30. That had a bit of everything in that. Chris and Me got carved up like a Sunday night roast by Venus Serena and Brilliant Strike, 28.7 the last quarter. They've gone 155.9 for the last mile. It had to be set up for a swooper. And in the end, it's been Tiger Tara. Jared O'Reilly left the pegs. He made that option to come away from the inside. Smolder tracked through on the markers. Chris and Me's been very gallant. And Mossdale O'Connor has run fourth. And the Cup Road just got from a 3-lane to a 4-lane road, Gregory.
Yeah, what a terrific contest. Chris and Me, you're right, he was softened up well and truly. Brilliant Strike trying to get around Venus Serena. Gavin Smith driving with such confidence, left him out there, and this horse was sitting just in behind them. Congratulations to Tiger Tara's team. The entire by Better's Delight gets his first free-for-all win and does it in a really good race. Smolder got a beautiful run. Mark Purdon will be delighted with that. He's been sitting 3 the fence. The time will be sensational here. Here's the judge's call to confirm.
Tiger Tara, second 12 Smolder, and third 1 Chris and Me. Fourth has gone to 6 Mossdale Connor from 11 Bit of a Legend and 7 Delightful Dash. 2 12 1 6 11 7. The margins are neck 2 1/4 lengths, 3 1/4 lengths ahead. The winner's time was 3:14, a mile rate of 2 minutes, 0.1. The last 857.3, last 428.5.
The closing sectionals were sensational, but the 1:18 lead time meant the overall 3:14 well outside the New Zealand record. And Jared O'Reilly comes back at the head of the field with Tiger Tara. Win 12, start 38, and his campaign well and truly on track towards the big one, the second Tuesday in November. Congratulations to the Sanfords, John Gould, and of course Jeff Dunn. He has done exactly that, Michael. He needed to win at free-for-all level, and he's done it in good style tonight.
Yeah, nice picking, Greg, and it's hard to believe he's only won the 12 races because, of course, 2 of them were derbies. So 1 derby and 1 Sires Stakes. So he's had 2 Group 1 wins. There could be another one in store. He is a horse who now clearly jumps into the big guns for the Cup in just under a month. Or just over a month, actually. It's a month tomorrow. Smolder was excellent. And Chris and Me, well, he was attacked, but he had his chance in third. Bit of a Legend making some ground after an early gallop. Craig the Whale Thompson, haven't we got some stuff to talk about on the box set on Wednesday night, because the New Zealand Cup market and the Inter-Dominion market is going to change after that.
Well, it will, Michael. We'll have to sit down and analyse it, and we'll have a look at the video a couple of times during the week, heading towards the box seat Wednesday night. But Tiger Tara's paid $440, $140, Smolder $250, Chris and Me $130, Quinella $18.70, Trifecta $212, $174, $80, first 4 $212, 1 and 6, $1,289.30. Great run, Smolder. I think they'd be over the moon with his performance. If he's going into that race 85%, and he's got within a neck of Tiger Tara, he's had a couple of runs under his belt, he is certainly going to be a big chance in this year's New Zealand Cup. Master Lavros, Idle Arden, Tiger Tara, 220.64 live going into the 4th leg. Going to catch up with driver Jack McKinnon. He drives Whitney in race number 6 tonight. Jack, Whitney with a huge race last week, and looks a race that she's going to be very competitive in.
Yeah, hopefully she will be. Her biggest asset is she begins so quick, so she can put herself in a good position, and she's a tough man. She's got a bit of speed, so hopefully she'll be there in the finish.
You're looking after her. What's her work like been during the week?
Yeah, she worked really good this week. She's sort of getting better and better every week, and really happy with her this week, so she should go well.
Looking at her videos, what do you think her forte is? Is she a mare that can be put in the race and still a bit of work, or is she one that you just got to tuck away?
Well, I thought she would just be a mare you had to tuck away, but her last 2 starts she's actually done a bit of work, and so who knows, maybe she's developing a bit of toughness, so yeah, hopefully we'll see tonight.
That's Whitney with Jack McKenna aboard, and I believe Jack might own this horse as well, so he is trainer and driver, or driver and owner, trained by Robert Dunn. Whitney by Earl out of Greet the Sun. It's got J.A. McKinnon in the ownership, so there you go. Driving well, Jack, and he'll take a drive in the last and the junior drivers as well. How do I line them up? I like Reel Me In here, the back marker. When a trotter can go 3.26 like it did last start, and 3.27 the start before, it is in the zone, this trotter. We saw a horse come off 40 metres and besotted in the last. I reckon a back marker off 40 can do it in the trot. I think great winning chance, the back marker, Reel Me In. It's going really well. Morris McHenry aboard to beat 8 Al Bundy at 660, 260. I put in Whitney for third, and Regal Petite's my blowout here at $16. Trained by Paulette Screen. Todd Mitchell takes the drive. For me, it's 10, 8, 6 and 4. 10, 8, 6 and 4. $1,000 from the bookmakers on Whitney in race number 6. Has got its quote at $6.50. Aaron, outstanding race, the last, besotted, and I'm sure you're watching with interest Tiger Tara's very good performance and defeating Smolder at Addington.
Yeah, great race, wasn't it, there at Addington? And, the Cup changes a wee bit again with that result, doesn't it? Tiger Tara capitalising on a beautiful run, beautiful drive on Smolder to come through and get second. I'm with the 6 in this, Whitney, very good, went runner-up to Leanne's Boy last week. The 10 Reel Me In comes out of that race, as well as to 9 Charlemagne. And the 8, 8 Al Bundy, yes, he's well in the mix there too. David Butcher, of course, David's got a pretty good association when it comes to this horse, Al Bundy. He's had the one drive back on him, that was back last week in the Leanne's Boy race, where he did find the line okay after doing a bit of work in the run. I'd expect some improvement there from Al Bundy tonight. So 6-10, I did put Al Bundy in front of Charlemagne third and fourth.
Thank you, Aaron. That winning time of besotted, quite outstanding. 321.2. 321.2, mile rate of 159, and even quarters. They're breaking 30 nearly every quarter for that last mile, and of course, that is why the last half was only 59. They'd run solidly throughout, besotted coming 5 wide to win our feature pace, our feature trot. Has Whitney at $3.50, back marker on screen, Reel Me In at $4. Red light on at the park for race number 6 tonight. The Dunstan Speed Series Stakes, 30th of October, handicap trot. Let's head upstairs and join.
Thank you, Craig. And the Square Gate is facing up to starter Frank Phelan here for the feature trot on the program tonight. The barrier strands release and they're off, and Djokovic makes a good beginning over at stablemate Terraskova. All Royal Gals off stride in the early stages. Settling down in third is Regal Petite, and they're followed by Dead Cat Bounce. The next on settling down was Whitney. They're followed a couple to Katie Hall and Al Bundy. Charlemagne, Reel Me In, safely on the journey. And after blowing the start, All Royal Gal is out of contention. They sweep across the showgrounds turn, their first occasion. And in front now is Djokovic over Terraskova. So the Luckchin pair, they swing the corner by 3. Regal Petite third, and then Dead Cat Bounce. There followed Whitney. KD Hall back on a new campaign, has Al Bundy on his back, Charlemagne on the back of Al Bundy, and there followed them by Reel Me In, and of course All Royal Gals blowing the start, no chance, 2 circuits to go. Djokovic, the son of Sundon, Luckchin doing the driving, Terraskova, Zach Butcher in the trail, then Regal Regal Petite, Dead Cat Bounce doing it tough. Park. Whitney's 4 back on the pegs. Katie Hall to take 1-1 cover. Then came El Bundy. Charlemagne is back second last of the winning chances. Reel Me In. He's moseying along back last for the Magic Man. Morris McKendry, no chance. Or Royal Gal. Djokovic through the back. A length and a half. Terrace Cove. Dead Cat Bounce third and Park. Around Regal Petite. Katie Hall 1-1. Whitney still 4 back on the marker line here for Jack McKinnon. El Bundy's on the back of Katie Hall in the running line. Then Charlemagne on the back of the Shoe Salesman. 1:29 and 1 the lead time. And then came Reel Me In, and of course All Royal Gal after blowing the start is no chance. With 1400 left to go as they sweep across the showgrounds turn. And Djokovic doing it nicely in front. Dead Cat Bounce has done it tough, sitting out in the breeze throughout. Back on the inside, Terrace Cove. Katie Hall's had nice 1-1 cover. That's on the outside of Regal Petite. El Bundy racing on the outside of Whitney. Charlemagne. And Reel Me In 32 and 6 was the opening quarter as they work through the lane. Djokovic and Luck Chin still lead stablemate Terrace Cove. Dead Cat Bounce. Third and Park for Tab Fenson. Regal Petite back on the inside. Katie Hall and Mangos have had a lovely trip in transit. 1-1. Whitney's all dressed up. Nowhere to go at this stage. Jack McKinnon the inside of El Bundy. Charlemagne and Reel Me In still been patiently handled by Morris back last as they trot out to the 800. Second quarter, 32 even. Into the back they go. Djokovic from Dead Cat Bounce and Terrace Cove. Katie Hall. Regal Petite and the Wizard Todd Mitchell trapped away. 3 back on the inside. El Bundy's on a nice rein. He's 6th in the running line around Whitney. Charlemagne waiting for the moves ahead as to Reel Me In. As they get to the 500, Reel Me In takes off. That'll get them moving in front as they come across the top. Djokovic over Dead Cat Bounce the back straight quarter in 29.6. Here's El Bundy getting around Katie Hall. There followed Charlemagne. Oh, Reel Me In. He's galloped on the corner. Whitney's further back, homeward bound. Djokovic on the outside is a Dead Cat Bounce. Here comes El Bundy. Charlemagne down the outside. Terrace Cove. Whitney can't get a go at them. Dead Cat Bounce on the outside. El Bundy's coming strongly. El Bundy goes to the lead. Charlemagne the last shot. El Bundy's back. El Bundy 3/4. Charlemagne, Whitney an unlucky third. Dead Cat Bounce a gutsy run fourth in front of Regal Petite. Then came Terrace Cove. Katie Hall. They were followed further back in the field to Djokovic. Reel Me In. He cost himself a winning chance with a gallop on the corner. And All Royal Gal was no chance after the early gallop. 3:32.2 will trim that up. 28.7 and 57.3. The last 800. Great to see him back. El Bundy. You'll get the performance incentive bonus tonight too. David Butcher's a great association with this great success. Gelding gets the win. Charlemagne Philip Butcher second. A touch unlucky Whitney for third. And a very game Dead Cat Bounce will pick up fourth in our feature trot tonight.
Official placings race 6. The Dunstan Speed Series starts on the 30th of October. Handicap trot. 896-541. 896-541. Horse 8. Al Bundy trotted the 2700 metres from a stand in a handicap and a net time of 3:30.6. Samara rate of 25.6. Last 858.3. The 428.7. The margins are half length, 1 length, a half neck. 896-541, race 6, Dunstan Speed Series starts on the 30th of October, handicap trot.
fanfare for Al Bundy, indicating the connections, picking up the performance incentive bonus here tonight. His 6th victory under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park. Great success by 6-year-old gelding out of Kelly Bundy, raced by AJ, TJ and BJ Cormac. Congratulations to you. Career win 6 at start 18. Prepared at Pukekohe by Peter and Vaughan Blanchard. And he's got a great association with driver David Butcher. David picks up his 3rd victory on the program here tonight. Al Bundy, bred by D.V. McGill and T.A. Hansen. Down there, Paul Barry, race night steward of the Auckland Trotting Club, was part of the victory celebrations. Good to have him back in the winner's circle, Al Bundy, and that could elevate him on to bigger and better things again. Number 9, Charlemagne, the Earl, Lady Odette Brown, 8-year-old gelding for second, raced by CJ in the estate of Mrs. R.M. Butler. Colin Butler trained at Cambridge. Philip Butcher, 6, Whitney Earl, Greet the Sun. 7-year-old bay mare for third, J.A. McKinnon, the owner. Robert Dunn trained at Pukekohe, Jack McKinnon. 8, Al Bundy, 7.70 and 2.10, 7.70 and 2.10. 9, Charlemagne, $4 even, $4. 6, Whitney, $1.60, $1.60. Quinella, $49.70, $49.70. Trifecta, $346.20, $346 and 20. First 4, $3,083.40, $3,083.40. 10 and 8 in the double. DJB double, $13.80, $13.80. 10 and 9 concession, $7.40, $7.40.
Back to be good for the remainder of the season. The rest of them easily beaten. What will the bookies do? We'll give you those odds as soon as we can for the Cup coming up in just over 4 weeks, but lots to discuss on the box set on Wednesday night. You can join in the conversation, of course, on Twitter with TAB Trackside having its own Twitter handle these days, and tell us what you thought of the whole thing. Some enthusiastic drives, to say the least, there at Addington. Greg O'Connor will be on track speaking to the beaten drivers, but the markets will change. And after that, I'm not saying he was poor, he wasn't at all, but after that, will Chris and Me still be the favourite, or at least as dominant for the New Zealand Cup market? Or of course the Inter-Dominion, which he went to the head of the markets for this week after it was announced yesterday Bow Tide will not be heading to Perth. Interesting times in harness racing. Of course, he's probably the only big gun going from New Zealand to this massive $1.8 million series, because Sky Major has pulled out of it. Next up in the open class ranks, it's the Holmes DG. Next week at Alexandra Park, Ohoka Punter versus Sky Major and Besotted as we count down to the Cup. Okay, heading back to the Wanganui, last of the card, the 12th Rosso. And as you know, some of the splendid types here from trackside are in Lira. What chance it in the last on the card?
Michael, it's a pretty fair chance. I'm beyond redemption tonight, by the way, so it probably doesn't matter what I do here, but I went 1, 2, 3, 8 anyway. He's had 3 starts in New Zealand up there at Manukau, and he hasn't been particularly quick off the boxes, which is not ideal for a sprinter, but he's still gone good races. And Funky Freddy looks a pretty good sort of a dog. He's not the sharpest immediately out of the boxes either, so the two favourites probably quite similar in that regard. I do expect them still to be able to fight out the finish here. And Whitey's gone, although he's a bit of a box one bully. He's close enough to be a danger here. And he was a winner 3-back when he actually won off box 7 at Palmerston North, and he could complete a really good night for John McInerney, who's had 4 winners, and 3 of them have been from the Fairzophonic Miss Marina Lee litter, Homebush Ramona, Fair Marina, and Homebush Zane, who upset in the previous, and only 2 Class 4s in that Class 5 race, and Homebush Zane got home and delivered. So haven't looked up the world pays actually, but be some pretty sizable quaddies shaping up here. Serve Your Purpose in shot, quite nicely drawn out there. Not sure about her winning a Class 2 race, but she's certainly competitive in them, and she's been running a few placings, and she's quite nicely situated out there. 1,168.60 for Funky Freddy's. Not the favourite actually, believe it or not, the favourite in the quaddie is Whitey's Gone, 1,658.70 by $10 over the 1, and then the 2, which is at 1,763, 1,900 for Serve Your Purpose, and the rest are paying the pot. Everything's covered, at least for a percentage anyway. Here in the last, we took about 1, 2, 3 and the 8 for that matter. 7 Dog Here Without You's racing fairly for Sue Gommans. We don't see the dog here a lot on this track. Had 3 minor placings and 4 starts here to date. Here Without You, he's a Jesse now with Matt Roberts, I see. Was with Nathan Udy, so Matt's got the 4, the 5 and the 6 here, all the tough draws. Good crowd on track here tonight. To the traps, the last race 12, Book Your Function at Hattrick, the Class 2 sprint. Favourite Funky Freddy off the inside. Box 3 for Whitey's Gone. Captain's Choice in the gold. And the black rug for Here Without You. Second line, Leroy. Corborn Sarah, He's a Jesse, Serve Your Purpose. Funky Freddy $1.90, Leroy at $4.40. See how well they step off the inside here. Final of the night, set to go. Racing, Funky Freddy slow, Leroy not too badly away. Corborn Sarah goes to the lead, Leroy goes the inside. Then Funky Freddy follows it through with Whitey's Gone. Serve Your Purpose out wider. Well back in the field here, Here Without You. He's a Jesse, Captain's Choice. It's Leroy in front. Funky Freddy switches to the outside, further back. Corborn Sarah, Leroy is in from Funky Freddy. Just third, Corborn Sarah over Whitey's Gone. They'll be followed back then by Here Without You. He's a Jesse, Serve Your Purpose, Captain's Choice. Leroy, 1786. He jumped better than the 1, and it's been the winning of the race. 2, 1, 4 and 3 on the board, 1786, run home 1086. Second win tonight too for James Black and Alicia Steele. Had a quiet night, start to the night, and finished very strongly with Jojo taking up the C5, and now Leroy on the last leg, and he out-jumped Funky Freddy, and he had plenty of room to move, and that second phase acceleration that he's shown up at Monaco gets him to the lead here off Corborn Sarah, who led but didn't come down. Whitey's Gone followed them through. Here Without You getting a run through the inside. By Cosmic Rumble out of our Ruby May, Viva Leroy Syndicate. A few tracksiders in there, enjoying the night with Leroy, first win in New Zealand. Greg, that wraps the night for us here on behalf of the team headed by Tony Upper. We bid you farewell, back at Palmerston North on Monday, and of course next Friday we're not here, we're at Palmerston North for a big night there. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your night there at Addington. I'll catch a few of those on the way home in the radio.
Yeah, thanks very much for that, Rozzo. Nice night of calling once again from you as we build to a start in the 8th, the Fahey Fence Hire Oxford Rugby Mobile Pace over the 1950. Favourite here is Art Union. He went down last week to Louis Risk. I think he'll bounce tonight. I think he'll win this. Dexter Dunn driving for Crandell Getty. Did have a whole lot of luck in the previous. Michael Guerin, if you're there, just an update. Next payment for the Cup is due next Wednesday. And I think that's about a $1,500 payment, so that really sorts out who's lining up and who's not. There is a late payment clause, and it's around about $20,000, which doesn't have to be paid till about the Tuesday prior to the Cup. But yeah, there might be a couple consider that, maybe even one that won at Alexandra Park tonight.
Yeah, I agree, Greg. I think Besotted has stood up now and said he can win a New Zealand Cup, because outside those 3 at Addington, Greg, the main 3, I can't see the Cup winner coming from back in that field. And to be perfectly honest, in the north, Ohoka Punter and Sky Major, yes. Besotted, yes. is this maybe a 6-horse cup? I think he'll be going to Addington, Greg. It's awfully hard to ignore $750,000. That's not my choice to make, but if he was my horse, Greg, and he was your horse, I'd be saying, let's have a word to Amanda, let's have a word to KP and chuck in 10 each and pay the late entry fee here. I'm sure John Street probably doesn't need to do that, but interesting times, Grego. That was a really interesting race, and to be perfectly honest, I know it's a cliche, but it's raised more questions than it's answered for me.
It has, and we'll hear from all of those beaten drivers on the box seat Wednesday night, but Tiger Tara takes it out, and his cup campaign well and truly on track. I can tell you, Mark Purdon absolutely delighted, of course, with the racetrack return of Smolder. New Zealand Cup update, Chris and me, $3. Smolder, he's now $3.70, I think. No, into $4 he is now, $4, and Tiger Tara from $9s into $7. So yes, more to talk about in regards to that. So yeah, Art Union for me, Regal Ideal on his run last week. He has to be in here. Provocative Prince drops way back in grade, and he was only beaten 3 lengths behind Chris and me here in the Vase, and about 4.5, 5 lengths behind Mighty Flying Mac. And of course the Hannons, so he'll punch through from the second row. He'll get his chance. He follows that guy Finn, who's racing well. Woodley DJ's likely to have a dig out of the gate here. Valor Luster's just in terrific form, but I get the feeling she might be driven just with one run at them tonight. Mark Mack coming up to you, race number 8. You know it's been a good night when it goes as quickly as this has, even with the delays.
From the neutral, that previous race was just exceptional. Just to call it, just if you're watching without having a punt, especially on Chris and me or Venus Serena or Brilliant Strike, it was just exciting to watch. Maybe not so much from one of those 3. Up they come for race number 8. Regal Ideal, that guy Finn, Woodley DJ, Star of Dionysus, Explosive Art, Valor Quick as a Trick, Art Union and Better Dream, Back Row Destined for Glory and Provocative Prince. It is race 8 of 10 already. They make perfect lines for this one. They're away. Woodley DJ with customary gate speed. Regal Ideal's going to punch up though. Out 3 wide early is Explosive Art. Out 5 wide Better Dream. 4 wide Quick as a Trick. And Destined for Glory is following Regal Ideal everywhere. From that guy Finn through the middle. Last couple are Provocative Prince, Art Union and also Valor Luster. Better Dream from the 9 gets down to lead at the mile. Margin 2.5 on Regal Ideal and parked up Woodley DJ. 3 back the inside, Destined for Glory, and 3 wide is Explosive Art. Lead time's 22.4. Next in is that guy Finn. On the pegs, Provocative Prince, and 3 wide Quick as a Trick and Art Union. He has covered the favourite. Valor and Star of Dionysus are the last 2. Better Dream and Robbie Close with 1,300 to go. Leads by a length and a half on Quick as a Trick to the chair, and 3 wide Art Union. Regal Ideal 4th, the leaders back, and Explosive Art 5th. Destined for Glory, 3 back the inside of Woodley DJ from Provocative Prince, and the speed really strong still. Then that guy Finn, Valor and Star of Dionysus, 31.8 for the first quarter, but they were humming along again on the turn out of the straight. And with 9.50 to go, Art Union's gone around the field to take over. Better Dream now trails, and Quick as a Trick parked. 2 to Regal Ideal on the inside of Explosive Art. Next, Woodley DJ from Destined for Glory, that guy Finn. Provocative Prince, Star of Dionysus and Valor Art Union between turns, 700 to go. Leads by a length. Second, Quick as a Trick and Better Dream. Will just wait use of the Terror to Love It, Pine Leaf Farm passing lane. 2 lengths to Explosive Art, Regal Ideal. Then Woodley DJ, Destined for Glory. That guy Finn, Provocative Prince, Star of Dionysus and Valor Second quarter, 28.7. 60.5 for the half, and Art Union has them chasing here. Has a length and a half to spare on Quick as a Trick and Better Dream. That trio are about 4 lengths in front of Woodley DJ. Then that guy Finn and Regal Ideal. Gee, Explosive Art stopped badly. 28.4 for the third quarter. And Art Union leads by 2. He's lugging up the track, but he's clear of Better Dream. Then Woodley DJ. But Art Union at the 100 metre mark, full of running, and he's going to ground them into the Addington all-weather here. He's 3, 4, 5 in front, and he's been brilliant tonight. Art Union beat Better Dream. That guy Finn 3rd, Destined for Glory 4th. Then Woodley DJ, Star of Dionysus, Valor Provocative Prince, Quick as a Trick, Regal Ideal and Explosive Art, the last 2 in. Wow, he's run a last 1,200 metres here. 8 Art Union, 150 and $1. Beats 9 Better Dream at 280 and 2 that guy Finn. $3.60. They backed off for 1 quarter. That was 31.8 the first. It was a sizzling lead time. It was a charging second quarter. The third was 2. The last is 29.4. The last mile 158.3. And Art Union, the further they went, the bigger the gap got. Better Dream was able to get across in the back of that lead time and hand it up to Art Union, who took some time to get to the lead himself. He did some work. He's been super. And that guy, Finn, has run third. He'll be in cup contention this time next year, Gregory. He has absolutely murdered that lot.
Yeah, that's him at his absolute best. Dexter stayed out of the early boom, which was a 22.4. Regal Ideal and Woodley DJ ensuring that, along with Better Dream, who was dropping back in grade and raced really well tonight. But he was entitled to get tired, this guy. He's gone about 220 and change here, and the wind's pretty cool, so that's a very good run, and he's a really good horse, as we know. He makes it win 15 from start 33. He's raced by Jim and Dr. Susan Wakefield and trained by Crandell Giddy, of course. Here's the judges' call.
Pace. The winner is 8, Art Union. Second, 9, Better Dream. And third, 2, That Guy Finn. Fourth has gone to 10, Destined for Glory. From 3, Woodley DJ. And 4, Star of Dionysus. 8, 9, 2, 10, 3, 4. The margins 4 3/4 lengths. 2 lengths, half a neck, half a neck. Winner's time was 2:20.7, a mile rate of 156.1. The last 857.4, last 429.2.
So a brilliant last mile there from Art Union, and Dexter Dunn salutes at the head of the field in our 8th on the program. Race number 9 for us, the Clark Boyce Lawyers Handicap Trot, features one of the rising stars in the trotting ranks in Mon Bay, and Michael Guerin. It'll be underway at 9:37. He's a very good horse, Art Union. When he gets in on the markers and gets rolling like that, it takes a good one to get past him.
Once again, Greg shows too that these good 3-year-olds come back the next season, and heaps of the ones who are competitive in the derbies tend to go forward and get to the verge of open class. I'm not sure he's a real open class horse, Art Union. I'm willing to disagree with Mark Mack's enthusiasm there. He'll be a cup horse, but what he'll be as a horse, he'll be very competitive in Australia on the circuit. I think he's better at those short distance races where he can just be launched. But still, Marky Mack could be right. It's been a strange old night at the office. Lots of things happening in both tracks and harness racing, some superb performances. Let's join the big man, Craig the Wild Thompson, back at Alexandra Park. And Craig, you and I get a chance to dissect the New Zealand Cup market, and you could have got long odds. A few weeks ago, Craig, we'd be seeing $3.70 for Chris and Me, and Tiger Tara, as short as he is. We'll pull the market up now, Craig. We'll talk over top of it. What do we make of this? $3.70 for Chris and Me. Smolder $4, I think that's about fair. Sky Major $4.80, Craig, I know he's your top tip. And Tiger Tara clearly has been the big mover, although I would suggest, Craig, if you put a Hoka punter with the same run in the same trail, he probably would have done about the same thing tonight.
I think if you put Sky Major, Tiger Tara in that same spot, Michael, or a fitter Smolder, they would have won that race. Now, that's nothing against Sky Major. He hasn't had the racing of a Tiger Tara, but it just panned out beautifully for him, didn't it? He got the trail. There was a lot of pressure. Chris and Me, we talked about it on Wednesday. He's just doing enough, but tonight they pressured him mid-stage as Venus Arena, and he got found wanting the last 150 metres. Was he horrible? No. But he just doesn't do enough for you to encourage you to go and back him. There's just nothing else jumping out at this stage for me, Greg, Michael, other than Sky Major to really get involved. And I think his price at $4.80 is short enough. So I'd wait till the Holmes DG next week. What I can tell you on Besotted, though, you asked a question, would they head to Addington to a New Zealand Cup? Will they make a late payment? I put that question to Ray Green about an hour ago. He said no.
Okay.
We're not wanting to go there. If we do go, we'll have a talk maybe about the free-for-all, but it is on the back burner. They're going to get through next week's Holmes DG, and then if things pan out, maybe they'll look to head towards the free-for-all, but definitely the New Zealand Cup at this stage is off the plate. Race number 7 here at Alexandra Park. Great field this, Michael. We've got Walkinshaw, Bodine, Bowfighter. They'll be heading to the Sire Stakes next week, and I can tell you that Holmes DG next week is going to be a cracker of a race. Ahoka Punter, Sky Major, Besotted, Lancewood Lizzie. You chuck in Risk, probably Delight Brigade Beyond the Silence, and a couple more. We could have 9, possibly 10 runners next week, Michael, and what is going to be a great field. And, of course, the Sire Stakes. Shandale will be back here next week. Walkinshaw, Bodine Beaufighter. Motown's going to the workouts tomorrow, Michael, along with Express Stride. Also, at the workouts tomorrow, One Over the Moon. We'll go around in heat number 2 tomorrow, along with Cool Cobber. If you want to be in the Franklin region tomorrow morning, good workouts tomorrow. So, Michael, we're going to see the good horses coming out in the next week, 10 days anyway, here at Alexandra Park and at the trials.
Craig, question for you here. We've seen these Sire Stakes type horses outside Franco Cristiano who galloped tonight come back and be simply too good in the grades. This is no normal grade race. These are very smart horses heading forward. But does it concern you that there's a few stable mates and all the butcher boys inside Tony Herlihy here with Walkinshaw, so he's probably not going to get a lot of favours?
Well, he's not. I think the way the race will pan out, analysing it, Michael, I'm pretty sure the Faithful will go forward and lead here. From what I've seen in all his race day starts, he's got the gate speed to get across Lincoln's Keepsake and to a bigger sky. So he's a leader. Does he hand to Bodine Beaufighter or Walkinshaw? Well, that's probably the question you have to answer. But for me, is he good enough to sit outside them? Probably from the 1,000-metre mark. I think Tony Hurley doesn't really have to get involved early. I think he can sit off the speed. He can move at the 800 to parked. And is he good enough to win from there? I think he is. So for me, it'll be 7, 4 and 5, my top 3 in race number 7 tonight. But it is an intriguing race because, as you mentioned, 4 butchers against 1 Tony Herlihy. There is Lincoln's Keepsake on screen, and the trainer in form at the moment has 3 in this race, and that is Ray Green. He's had a huge night. Talking to him, he said he can't remember training 5 winners in the space of 24 hours, so he's having a great last couple of days, 2 at Cambridge, 3 at the Park, and it hasn't finished yet. Lincoln's Keepsake by Rock and Roll Hanover. This one a half sister to Sir Lincoln. 1 or 2 races, both at Cambridge, both look good, but in saying that, nothing of the quality that what she meets tonight. The Faithful, of course, another beautifully bred one out of Running on Faith by Better's Delight. This one owned by the Auckland Trotting Club Syndicate. A heap of them on track tonight. Barry Purdon, Zach Butcher, what he's got is a bit more race day fitness over his rivals. Bodine Beaufighter out of Bodine Bay, beautifully bred. Of course, his brother, Bodine Boaz, in Perth at the moment doing a good job. And Walkinshaw by Mac 3, good enough to win in 2:42 at Cambridge 2 starts ago, was a very good 2-year-old in his own right. Has had a couple of runs back. He was luckless in that 153 mile at Cambridge last week when the gaps didn't appear. He wasn't far away, only beaten 2 lengths at the line. So for me, it's 7, 4, 5 and 3. 7, 4, 5 and 3, race number 7 tonight. 1,500 on Bodine Beaufighter. Through from the racing desk, the best backed runner. Aaron, what does it come to you for the 7th tonight? It's only a small field, a very tactical race, but gee, there's some depth in it.
You did right there on with Walkinshaw. Things just didn't pan out the way I think Tony thought down there at Cambridge. Following Shandale. Shandale didn't get him into the race in that 153 heat of the Sire Stakes. So he's firmly on top here after that very strong fresh up win. For the Faithful, he blew them away last time. Zach Butcher, Barry Purdon, 5 Bodine Beaufighter. Couldn't have been more. Calabar Mobile Gate brings them on to the 2,200 metre start for race 7. New Zealand Biosecurity Services Limited, Mobile Pace. Short on numbers, high on quality this race. Set and ready. Green light, racing. First out the Faithful, Bodine Beaufighter. Mosey's forward to see if the lead's there. The Faithful's not going to hand up the lead. They're followed by Lincoln's Keepsake will settle down in 3rd, then Tuapeka Sky. And Walkinshaw, the warm favourite, taken back to last by the Iceman. 1900 left to go as they work the stables corner. The Faithful, the son of Better's Delight, in the hands of Zach Butcher, leads a length and a half. Bodine Beaufighter. David Butcher, he's got the lovely drag along in the trail. Then Lincoln's Keepsake, the unbeaten Rock and Roll Hanover filly. Phil Butcher in third. Then Tuapeka Sky, Shane Butcher, and Walkinshaw back last. Through the back they go. The Faithful, a length and a half. Bodine Beaufighter has settled beautifully on the leader's back. 44 and 4 the lead time. In midfield is Lincoln's Keepsake, and then Tuapeka Sky. So the stablemates running second, third and fourth, and Walkinshaw biding his time back at the tail as they sweep across the showgrounds turn. 1400 metres left to go in the seventh on the program, where the Faithful leads them along from Bodine Beaufighter in the trail, and three back on the inside Lincoln's Keepsake. Then came Tuapeka Sky, the filly by Mark 3 as Walkinshaw. He starts his forward progress now for the Iceman, the son of Mark 3. 33 and 5 was the opening quarter, so the Faithful trying to set this up for a sprint home. Bodine Beaufighter's got his back. Walkinshaw will be up on the leader's wheel at the bell with a lap to go. Then came Lincoln's Keepsake on the inside, and Tuapeka Sky gets onto the back of the favourite. Stables corner final time. The Faithful leads from Walkinshaw, the outside of Bodine Beaufighter. Lincoln's Keepsake three back on the pegs, and Tuapeka Sky to its outside in the 1-1. Let's see the second quarter. It's posted in 31.9, so a 65.4 half. This field of five's about to light up the ribbon of light. Through the back they go. The Faithful leads by a length. Walkinshaw, he's on a beautiful range, second in park. Bodine Beaufighter's had the run. Tuapeka Sky 1-1, and Lincoln's Keepsake the inside. 500 to go, they turn off the back, where the Faithful with Walkinshaw closing in powerfully now on the outside. Bodine Beaufighter waiting the passing lane. Tuapeka Sky, Lincoln's Keepsake dropping off by a couple. 28 and 9 the back straight quarter. The Faithful with Walkinshaw, they swing going hoof to hoof, a length and a half. Bodine Beaufighter, Tuapeka Sky, Walkinshaw goes to the Faithful. Bodine Beaufighter on the passing lane. Walkinshaw, the Faithful's got a kick. Walkinshaw and the Faithful in a great battle. The Faithful, Walkinshaw, the Faithful kicking hard. Walkinshaw driving the Faithful. The Faithful by a half ahead. Walkinshaw, Bodine Beaufighter, they were followed Tuapeka Sky. Lincoln's Keepsake 245.8. They've run the last quarter 27. And the final half in 55.9. The Faithful will hold out the advances of Walkinshaw. Zach Butcher, Tony Hurley. Great duel in the home straight. In fact, it was a good duel from about the 500 to home. Zach will just get the job done, a half ahead Walkinshaw. Bodine Beaufighter for third, and Tuapeka Sky to be the fourth across.
Official placings, race 7, the New Zealand Biosecurity Services Limited Mobile Pace. 47513. 47513. Horse 4, the Faithful, paced the 2200 metres in 245.85. A mile rate of 201.3. Last 855.9. 427. The margins are half head, 4.5 lengths, 2 3/4 lengths. 47513, race 7, the New Zealand Biosecurity Services Limited Mobile Pace.
Come back at the head of the field. The Faithful goes back to back. Beautiful front running display by Zach Butcher. Barry Purden, the preparer out of Clevedon. Raced by the Auckland Trotting Club 2014 Syndicate, and that's career win 5 at start 21 for the Faithful. Better's Delight running on faith, the brown 4-year-old gelding. Woodland Stud New Zealand Limited, that's their second breeding success on the program tonight here as well. The Faithful, good win, good drive, gets the prize in the New Zealand Biosecurity Services Limited mobile pace. Bevan Jones and the team here from New Zealand Biosecurity with us on track tonight. Gordon Robertson down there, part of the victory celebration, steward of the Auckland Trotting Club. 7 Walkinshaw, Mark 3 Monaro, 3-year-old bay colt, raced by R.S. Tomlinson, P. Morris, P.J. Hales and S.W. Waters. Tony Hurley, the trainer-driver, Papakura. And 5 Bodine Bowfighter, Better's Delight, 3-year-old bay colt out of Bodine Babe, there for a third. And raced by Lincoln Farms Limited, I.A. Middleton, D. James, M.J. Brereton, B.P. Rabbit, W.D. Kennedy and J.R. Dias. Ray Green trained at Pukekohe and David Butcher. The Faithful, number 4, $3.80 and $1.20, $3.80, $1.20, 7 Walkinshaw, $1.30, $1.30, 5 Bodine Bowfighter, no third. Quinella, $1.80, $1.80. Trifecta, $13.60, $13.60. And the first 4, $30.50, $30.50. Last race on the program tonight is the tender for Highview Tommy and Pegasus Spur mobile pace, 2,700 metres. Time to go at 5 minutes to 10. Don't forget, we race again under the ribbon of light next Friday night. Most Fridays all the way through to Christmas now here at Alexandra Park. A place to be every Friday night to take in the light harness action. It'll be a big night next Friday night too, taking in the Holmes DG, and also the Sires Stakes Heat will be in there as well. That'll be next Friday night here at Alexandra Park. Good luck with your bets in the last. That race with us in around 16 minutes.
Even outside of him.
18 metres this time.
Mind Pristine for a place here. She's 560 on the tote. Back to the all-weather tonight. Couple of goes on the grass, the wet grass at Methven and Mochakarara. Just that run at Mott didn't take too much out of her, which, seeing a few of the runners backing up from that race tonight, it appears it might have. I don't think she was the worst here, but it's a pretty damn good field. Race number 9. Headed up by a special one in Monbay. Now Tessa's Rocket, JCK, Wings on High, Never Fear, Escapee, the Bog, Clover Mac, Christmas Joy, Elamon Bay, Experiment, Majestic Time, Cherry Lindenny and Live the Dream. Race 9 of 10, off at Gore tomorrow.
Happy.
Racing. And Clover Mac skipped left, right and landed in a trot. And the Hall of Famer CJ De Philippi 6 in front. Galloping away the Bog, and she's the only one that's gone up in the air. The leader is Clover Mac. Tessa's rocket off stride now. So too Never Fear. Monty Python galloped when it tried to miss it. And the leader is Clover Mac. Margin 2 or 3 lengths over the trailing Pristine. 3 wide Cherry Lindenny from Wings on High. A length and a half to Experiment. And then came Monbay safely away and off the pegs at the first turn. Saving a stack of ground Live the Dream. A length away Christmas Joyella from Majestic Time and JCK. 2.5 lengths to Never Fear from Escapee. A further 2 lengths to Monty Python. About 10 lengths to the Bog. And 15 lengths away last of all is Tessa's Rocket. That's the order as they turn into the back stretch. And working to the lead now, Cherry Lindenny. Clover Mac's on the inside and Experiment's coming up to join the party too. Pristine 4th, just off the speed. A length and a half away is Monbay from Wings on High. 1 length away, Christmas Joyella from Live the Dream down on the pegs. And then came JCK, Majestic Time, Escapee. Never Fear, 4 lengths to Monty Python. 10 lengths to the Bog and 25 lengths to Tessa's Rocket. 1 mile to go. And the leader is Cherry Lindenny. Gavin Smith keeps the lead. He's looking for 4. Second, Clover Mac and Experiments parked ahead away third. 3 back the inside. Pristine from Monbay, who's now 1 out and 1 back and running 5th. Wings on High, 4 deep on the pegs from Christmas Joyella. A length and a half JCK. Down next to the inside is Live the Dream, and they were followed next by Majestic Time and Never Fear. A length and a half away next is Escapee from Monty Python. 5 lengths to the Bog, and tailed right off is Tessa's Rocket. 118.8 for the lead time, and still Cherry Lindenny where she likes to be, and that's in the lead. She's out by a length and a half on Experiment. Third, Clover Mac the inside, Monbay 4th, Pristine 5th the inner. Wings on High is next to the pylons, inside of Christmas Joyella. 1.5 lengths away, Live the Dream underneath of JCK from Majestic Time, and then came Never Fear, Escapee, the Bog, and Monty Python last 2 of the pack with Tessa's Rocket 150 metres away. 33.4 for the first quarter, and Cherry Lindenny heads them to the back stretch the final time and leads by a length and a half. Second, Experiment. Third, Clover Mac. Monbay's out and running when Escapee was coming forward. Then in between horses, Christmas Joyella from Pristine as the pace goes right on. JCK next from Wings on High. Live the Dream, Majestic Time, Never Fear. And then came Monty Python, sweeping to the lead, Monbay. 2 lengths over Escapee. Cherry Lindenny back to third. Then Christmas Joyella. One out, JCK's making ground from Clover Mac. And they were followed by Experiment. The third quarter up in a moment. Second, 32, 165.5 for the half. Monbay leads a length on Escapee. Next to the inside, Cherry Lindenny whacks away at the back. Pristine galloped and knocked over Never Fear. JCK and out wide of Christmas Joyella. Third quarter, 28.4. And Monbay is off. 120 to go. Sped away. Clover Mac, Escapee for the Miners. Christmas Joyella's there too from Cherry Lindenny. But Monbay, he's just in a league of his own. He won by 10 lengths and beat Clover Mac and Christmas Joyella. Cherry Lindenny 4th, then Wings on High, Monty Python. Escapee galloped in the last little bit from Experiment, Live the Dream. And then came Majestic Time, JCK. Pristine and Never Fear got tangled up at the last turn. The Bog and Tessa's Rocket, the last 2 in.
Maiden this one with the Super Vobis and Vobis Gold going on. All set now. Starters up. Moving around Storm on gate 1 with the shades off on the back up from Bairnsdale. And up in the air goes Storm on. Sally Wynn ducks for cover out the back. She tried to stay on at the first rise in the barrier. She's out the back. She's clutching possibly at a hand. She's a bit distressed walking away. So Storm on a $31 chance will be vetted. Mr. Magnitude 41 into 21's had a bit of support. And on the TAB at $28.90. So Storm on withdrawn from the alley. Sally Wynn has just gone behind the barrier partitions of the outside fence, so I can't see Sal. Other runners stand up well. Beautiful night for racing. They've got the big marquees all out ready for Cup Day. 10 race card, $300,000 up for grabs. Sore wrist here with Sally Wynn. She's being attended to with the medicos. I can see them talking to her. She's down clutching at it. She's What you could see now, you'd say she won't be riding, you wouldn't think, in this race. But she's a tough cookie, Sally. Saddle taken off, Storm On will be coming out. Standing by for word, Storm On won't be running here. Saddle removed, $31 chance. And there's a Hyundai Tucson you can win here, $25,000 if you come to the races on Sunday broadcast. Yes, Daz. 7.46, thanks mate. Out. Late scratching, Storm On, 7.46 out. And they're all set now. Starters around, yeah, that great car. 25,000 up the grabs here on Tab Cup Day. All set. Lamasu Fave in the orange and black. White band down the centre. They're off. Lamasu jumped away well, unprovoked out in the centre, jumped well with the grey Cyber Coney and tanned on the fence, and Crying Angel away well tonight. Coming across Vienna Flame, the deepest runner going forward quickly also is Mr. Magnitude. And not far away is Highway Downs, and the Gout says, my spot's in front, thank you very much. And I'm going to go through and go to the lead. And he bustles forward now to lead Vienna Flame. Mr. Magnitude 3 wide goes on as Vienna Flame eases. Lamasu lands a good spot. It's going to be one away from the fence moving up. They were being followed next of all by moving up very wide on the track and not being able to get in as Carpathian. He's trapped out in the cheap seats. Unprovoked on the rail and a length and a half further back in the field. Crying Angel, Cyber Coney, Tasman Traveller, Tanned and Kiwi Dreamer went out last. They've dragged him right out the back door. He's pulling just a little bit, but not as fierce as he was 2 runs back with the blinkers on. Heading to the back straight now. The front runner is Highway Downs. Carpathian moving up, and the pressure's right on. Leaders are steaming to the back. 3/4 away, Mr. Magnitude, and 5 lengths Vienna Flame. 3 unprovoked, and Lamasu a half length back. 2 lengths away, Crying Angel, Cyber Coney, the outside place cover. 2.5, Tasman Traveller, Tanned, and Kiwi Dreamer. Well, at least he's going to be well suited by this fast tempo, even though he's a dozen off the leader. Moving up, Carpathia now at the 900 metres mark. Takes the lead away from Highway Downs and is 2 in front. Mr. Magnitude striding up to go to second now, and they're 5 or 6 in front of Vienna Flame. Baster's about to get chasing on Lamasu. 2 lengths unprovoked, Cyber Coney. On the fence, Crying Angel, nowhere to go. Tasman Traveller about to ease out as they bunch up a bit. Then Kiwi Dreamer, he'll be wide coming to the bend, but he's pulled out, starting his run. And the big change comes over the race. Tan last, but only 4 from the leader. Lamasu all of a sudden's in front on the corner. 3/4 Cyber Coney and wide out Tasman Trader. The veteran maiden gives chase to the favourite. Running on then is Crying Angel getting to the clear. And further back, Unprovoked and Kiwi Dreamer, and Tan's made ground. Lamasu kicked away on straightening up at the 200, led by 3 lengths Tasman Traveller. Crying Angel running on, but it's Lamasu well clear at the 150. 4 lengths in front. Crying Angel moving to second from Tasman Traveller, but Lamasu, the Lonro mare's giving them a spanking. Won by 2.5 lengths to Crying Angel. Third Tasman Traveller. Unprovoked and Cyber Coney and Tanned and Kiwi Dreamer next in from Mr. Magnitude, Carpathian. Then Vienna Flame and Highway Downs a long, long last.
Our apologies for the lack of lead-in time to that race at Cranbourne. Of course, the night gallops there this evening. Lamasu and Stephen Baster just spanked them. It's 11, 8 and 6. Crying Angel and Tasman Traveller, the next 2 home, but they were a cricket pitch behind the winner. Just going back to Addington, Mon Bay, how good was he? There had been reports he may not go to the Dominion Handicap. Maybe they'll rethink that because he was so good. And you would say outside Stent, I know they're not top class horses, but outside Stent and maybe Master Lavros, there's not a trotter in the country who could beat those horses quite that easily. Maybe they couldn't do it either. I'm not sure about the answer to that. Haven't seen the sectionals yet, but second last quarter, as we come to you, Craig Thompson, second last quarter 28.4 for a trotter jogging. Mombay's clearly better than last year, and he may not go to the Dominion, but there's some talk that now Master Lavros, Craig, and Stent might both miss the free-for-all. Both their trainers have now said that publicly. If they did that, Craig, the free-for-all, Group 1, from the mobile on Cup Day could be perfect for Mon Bay.
He's one of the fastest trotters I clocked as a 3-year-old, Michael, and I think he was a year away. Now we're seeing it at 4. Haven't we got depth in our trotting ranks? When you think of the trotters are going to come back, the likes of Speeding Spur. We've seen Mon Bay. King Denny we haven't seen. One Over the Moon we're going to see at the workouts tomorrow. You chuck in the European trotter, Daryl Boko. We've got Stent and Master Lavros going around at the moment. Emerging talents. Well, Leanne's boys coming through the grades. He's not up to them yet, but I tell you what, we're talking a lot more depth in the trotting ranks, Michael, than we are in the pacing ranks.
Here we are, Craig. It goes in cycles, of course, and then you have a horse like Vincennes who wants to come across from Australia, and maybe the second best trotter in Australasia is actually Keystone Dell. Let's not forget his for and against Stent is very good. So, Craig, not only leading into Christmas are we going to see the great races Addington, Cambridge and Alexandra Park, on the other side, the Great Southern Star with horses like, even the ones we've mentioned, plus Prime Power coming into play. There's lots to look forward to in the trotting ranks, and well done to the clubs for boosting those stakes. Craig, just before we get back to you, the faithful, lovely drive by Zach Butcher, the previous 381.20, beat Walkinshaw $1.30, no third boating, Beaufighter the $1.80, Quinella $13.60, the trifecta, and the first four $30.50. Craig, I thought this was almost the good thing of the night, an either meeting down under Stride, because I haven't seen a horse fall this far back in grade. He's racing predominantly Class 1 horses. He ran second the last two starts to Risk, who is probably really a C8 or C7 horse at least, Craig. And Tony Cameron's a young guy who's driving with confidence. I'll be stunned if he doesn't win this.
Well, he should do, Michael, and one punter agrees with you, 5,000 on at $1.35. Junior drivers' races, they can be a little bit of a trick because they go one of two ways. They either go hell for leather or they walk and sprint. I don't think it'll matter for Down Under Stride, 2,700 metres. He looks a good stayer. He's coming out of a race that was taken out of by Risk, who heads to the Holmes DG next week. So it's a great form ride. His main rival will come from Jet Black Shadow. He's not as good, but he is progressing through the grades. He's won 4 from 23 this time up. I think he's been a shade disappointing, but I know they're a lot more happy with him. So 5 to beat 7. I think they're the two. Outside them, Michael, best of the rest for me, Shard's Phoenix just in front of Wimbalari. But yeah, Down Under Stride should be getting the money in the last. I can tell you David Butcher paid out in the Drivers' Challenge before race number 7 tonight. So those who got the $3.25, he was paid out before race number 7 tonight. Of course, our quaddie still going. The first leg of the quaddie taken out by Besotted. Outstanding performance winning there. The second leg taken out by, of course, Al Bundy. And the third leg by the Auckland Trotting Club Syndicate. And man, why there's some of them in the parade ring tonight. I'd say the entire syndicate were there. Probably around about, at least 150 I was counting, in that winning bird cage tonight, getting their photo taken. Of course, owned by the Auckland Trotting Club 2014 syndicate, having a great run, that syndicate. Michael,
Craig, just an update on the Dominion handicap odds, Craig. Stent's been solid at $3.40. Master Lavros also at $3.60. Now, Monbay's still $10. So for those who think Monbay will start, he's still $10 in the market for the Dominion. So those reports he may not head there, Craig, keeping him longer. I would suggest if he was going to be starting, he'd be closer to the $7, which is the quote now for Shimon, as unbelievably, after a beautiful day in the city of Sales, Craig, am I seeing some rain out there?
Yeah, ducking for cover, Michael. It is starting to just come down now, but we've had a great day here. It's a shame that it's come for the last, but we'll get this race done and dusted. Besotted Al Bundy, the faithful. Favourite way is with the favourite Down Under Stride, $96 in the quaddie, and the only other one that is backed in the quaddie is Jet Black Shadow, $260.20. Marin, for the last time tonight, thank you for your help. Down Under Stride should be getting the money in the last.
Yeah, he should be, after being runner-up to Risk in the Te Aumuru Cup 2 weeks ago. Tony Cameron, Tony Hurley. 7 Jet Black Shadow, I think the 2,700 metres will suit him. Down to the ground, Kyle Marshall. 2 Wimbalari secured his maiden victory over this trip. Pretty strong win it was as well. And 4 Winberg Courage was a nice winner last time down at Cambridge. Fergus Schumacher, 5, 7, 2 and 4. Runners coming forward for the last time this evening. There's the tender for Highview Tommy and Pegasus Spur. Mobile pace over the 2,700 metres. Next meeting here under the ribbon of light next Friday night, featuring the Holmes DG and, of course, a heat of the Sires Stakes. It'll be a good night of racing to be here in the City of Sales next Friday night. Into the back they go. 2,700 metres, 2 3/4 laps, and they're underway. Down Under Stride. Very good early gate speed. He'll go off and get the early lead off. Wimbalari, Soul Man, with the aid of the pegs, will remain handy in third as they find the showgrounds turn, then Atomic Falcon. Shards Phoenix with an early 1-1 back on the inside. Winberg Courage, Jet Black Shadow, he's back in the field as Wimberley went for a gallop behind the leader there, went up the track, will have to be taken back into the field to find a spot by Tab. Jet Black Shadow second last and Elliot Daniel back last. So down under stride, this very warm favourite. He's going to get away with an uncontested lead here. Soul Man's in the trail and 3 back is Winberg Courage. Coming forward again is Wimberley on the outside of Atomic Falcon, then Shards Phoenix. Jet Black Shadow second last, and the last Elliot Daniel. 2 circuits to go. Down under stride, the son of Better's Delight. He was runner-up in the Te Awamutu Cup and he leads a length and a half. Soul Man's got the nice run in the trail. Ben Butcher. Wimberley Tab Fensom again parked. We're back on the inside. Winberg Courage, Fergus Schumacher. Then Atomic Falcon 1-1. Jack McKinnon as they turn up into the back straight. A couple of lengths off that is Shards Phoenix, Dylan Ferguson, Jet Black Shadow, Kyle Marshall, Elliot Daniel, Trent Letherby the last. But through the back and down under stride, Tony Cameron, and he's got the ears pricked, and we'll find out why as he gets down to the lead time. It'll be very comfortable for his class, 123.6. Leads by 3/4 of a length on the outside, Wimberley, Soul Man trailing. Atomic Falcon 1-1 as they turn off the back and work the showgrounds turn. Winberg Courage back on the inside. Shards Phoenix is 3 back in the running line on its back. Jet Black Shadow being patiently handled by Kyle, and back last, Elliot Daniel. Down under stride, he's still got the ears forward as he comes on to the lane with a lap and a quarter left to go. He's got Wimberley to his outside now. Shards Phoenix springs out and comes forward out 3. Soul Man's got the leaders back, then Atomic Falcon around Winberg Courage, Jet Black Shadow, Elliot Daniel 33 and 4 was the opening quarter of the last mile. Down under stride will take them into their final circuit with Shards Phoenix a half a length away. Soul Man's had a gorgeous run in the trail. Stables Corner final time this evening. Wimberley with 1-1 cover for the final circuit. Winberg Courage on the inside of Atomic Falcon. Jet Black Shadow still back second last. Elliot Daniel the last. Second quarter. You're going to get away with another comfortable one. 30.7. Down under stride. Into the back leads by a length. Shards Phoenix to his wheel. Back on the inside then to Soul Man. Wimberley 1-1. Winberg Courage all dressed up. Nowhere to go. 3 back on the inside of Atomic Falcon. Now Jet Black Shadow starts to move. Atomic Falcon looks to come out in front of him, and then Elliot Daniel down under stride off the back. Shards Phoenix right there. Soul Man Wimberley. Here's Atomic Falcon striding up with purpose out 3 on his back as Jet Black Shadow, then Elliot Daniel and Winberg Courage 29 and 5 the back straight quarter. Down under stride for home. Shards Phoenix. Here's Jet Black Shadow scooting around Wimberley, but down under stride goes for home by 3. Shards Phoenix, Wimberley, Jet Black Shadow down the outside, and Winberg Courage, but it's all down under stride. You give a horse of this quality a lead time and a lead like that, and this is what he'll do every single time. He's bolted in. Second, Wimberley. Third across was Jet Black Shadow, then Winberg Courage, Elliot Daniel, Shards Phoenix the next. They were followed by Soul Man, and last across will be Atomic Falcon, 325.8, 28.3, 57.9 was the last 800 metres. Stroll in the park for Down Under Stride, coming off that very good run in the Te Awamutu Cup when runner-up and behind Risk, and he's got a very soft, uncontested lead here tonight. Tony Cameron doing the driving for Tony Hurley and gets the victory in great fashion. Will pick up a performance incentive bonus as well. Wimberley's fought on strongly, had to do extra work in the run, so it could have been interesting. Of course, he galloped in the early stages, did Wimberley. Lost the leaders back with that gallop. He's had to do a bit of work after that. It's been a pretty good effort. And then Jet Black Shadow down the outside for third. Tender for Highview Tommy and Pegasus Spur to wrap up the action tonight.
Official placings, race 8, the Tender for Highview Tommy and Pegasus Spur Mobile Pace. 527 486. 527 486. Horse 5 down under stride, paced the 2,700 metres in 325.87. Mile rate of 22.7. Last 857.9, the 428.3. The margins 4.5 lengths, a half neck, a half neck. 527 486, race 8. Tender for Highview Tommy and Pegasus Sperm, mobile pace.
So the performance incentive bonus struck here by the connections of Down Under Stride. That's E&M Stride Corporation. Better's Delight, Alta Vista, 4-year-old Brown Gelding. Tony Hill, he prepared at Papakura. And Tony Cameron doing the driving. And a very nice drive it was too on the warm order to take the last on the show tonight. Down Under Stride, that's his third victory at start 13, and coming off the back, of course, of his second placing in the Te Awamutu Cup at Cambridge a couple of weeks ago. Bred by Old Ridge Services, number 4 Limited. Down Under Stride, too strong in the last. Karen Blanchard was down there part of the victory celebrations with Paul Barry, a steward of the Auckland Trotting Club. 2 Wimberley for second. Got to go collect Festina Lente Bay, 4-year-old gelding, and raced by Mrs. R.H. Eden and P.N. Fensom. Penny Fensom trained at Pukekohe, and Tab Fensom, and 7 Jet Black Shadow Jeremy's Jet home in the shade. 5-year-old Brown Gelding raced by B.M. Lecter, W.L. Alley, C.G. Thomas, Mrs. A.Y. Ringer, along with the Don't Tell the Mrs. Syndicate and G.D. Burkett, Kyle Marshall for Nicky Chilcott. Totes in the last, Down Under Stride, $1.20 and $1, $1.20 and $1. 2 Wimberley, $1.50, $1.50. 7 Jet Black Shadow, $1.40, $1.40. Quinella, $3.70, $3.70. The trifecta returns $14.50, $14.50. And the first for $68.80, $68.80. 4 and 5, $5.10 in the final double, $5.10. 4 and 2, the final concession return, $7.77.70. 8, 4, 5, the final treble at $63.40, $63.40. 10, 8, 4, 5 in the last quaddie, $96.10, $96.10. Place 6 this evening, $12.10, $12.10. We trust you've enjoyed Tropical Nights at Alexandra Park, night 1 of Tropical Nights. We do it all again next Friday night, the 16th of October. Big night of harness racing here, and it will be Holmes DG race night. We've got a heat of the Sires Stakes along with other great light harness action. That's next Friday night under the ribbon of light right here at Alexandra Park. Till we meet again from the commentary box, Aaron White bidding you all a very good evening.